Good morning. This is Isaiah Hoegberg with ViaWest. Thank you all for joining this morning. I'm the channel manager for ViaWest, and with me I've been joined by Micah Berninghausen, who are primary sales engineers in support of all of our channel partners for ViaWest. And of course, we're here today with WTG to talk about selling infrastructure as a service, colocation, cloud, managed hosting services with ViaWest. So thank you all for joining. We'll go ahead and hop into today's webinar. Quick overview of the agenda today. We'll be touching on some of the industry drivers behind infrastructure as a service, a brief ViaWest overview, do a little bit of a deep dive into our product set of colocation, cloud services, and managed hosting services as we relate back to those industry drivers and what we're seeing in the marketplace today. And then cover ViaWest's partner program, the benefits, and how we've partnered with WTG to support WTG's extended partner community. So industry projections, what is driving the growth in the industry today? Over the next 8 years, your customers' IT teams will need to manage 10 times the number of servers, 50 times the amount of information, and 70 times the number of files, not to mention needing to deal with the massive amounts of data being generated. Yet if we look at those IT departments, 72% of them say they lack the necessary tools needed for their existing and future environments. In fact, 49% of IT professionals say they're concerned about managing big data. We see this every day, and in fact, this is one of our fastest growing product lines over the last year. It's been our pay-as-you-grow storage solutions directly aimed at helping companies solve this problem. And according to a recent Gartner study, the most effective IT teams spend 2/3 of their time working on projects directly aligned with the strategic goals of the organization. These are projects that help drive the growth and revenue for the company. However, as most of us see every day, the exact opposite is true for most IT teams. Typically, they spend most of their time focused on the routine infrastructure, maintenance, system updates, and simply trying to avoid downtime. This is a concept that every CIO and VP of IT should understand well, in an area they're continually looking for improvement. So where does this leave us today? Businesses are experiencing a substantial increase in data and infrastructure needs. They often lack the necessary tools and in-house expertise to capitalize on new technology. So that leaves IT organizations with two choices. They're essentially at a fork in the road. One path leads to a substantial increase in capital expenditures, essentially more of the same. Or the second path, partner with a hosting provider such as ViaWest to manage the core IT infrastructure, allowing them to focus back on their strategic initiatives that can help them drive the growth of their business. This also allows them to move their IT organization from a capital-heavy expenditure model to an operational expenditure model. Now we'll take a look at a brief overview of ViaWest and how we help our customers achieve these goals. ViaWest was founded in 1999. So we have a long history of growth and success in this industry. Our sole focus is on colocation, cloud, and managed hosting services. This is all we do, and we do it extremely well. We've been fortunate enough to be very financially stable from the start of our company. It's led us through 2 economic downturns where we've actually been able to capitalize on some of our competitors' failings. We have a long history of acquisition and growth through both organic and acquisition growth into different markets. We have a very customer-focused mantra throughout our company. I think this speaks directly to how well we do at keeping our employees and the level of customer service we're able to provide to our customers as a result. And in fact, 32 employees that were with the company in 2000 are still with the company today, now that we're roughly 350 employees. We're profitable in all of our markets, facilities, and product lines. And today we're one of the largest privately held data center colocation and hosting providers in North America. If you look at our current data center footprint, 23 data centers across the 6 major markets. As you can see, we're very dense in the areas we do business. 50% of our growth is directly related to our existing customer base. So this has led us to grow with additional data centers in the markets that we serve. The 23rd data center is actually under construction right now. It's a brand new facility in North Las Vegas, around 110,000 square foot building that'll net out a little under 80,000 square feet of raised floor capacity. So we're very excited to see that come online in a few months. The increases in regulatory compliance is a major driving force in the industry today. In fact, the vast majority of our customers at ViaWest have either direct compliance requirements or what I like to call trickle-down compliance from their customers. These audits and certifications serve as the base of how we help our customers meet a wide variety of compliance requirements such as HIPAA, FDA, NIST, SOX, ISO, FSMA, many, many others. So all of our data centers go through our SSAE 16 audits. This, of course, is the new standard, formerly SAS 70. We go through our SOC 3 audits, our PCI report on compliance for our managed hosting data centers, and all of our facilities go through the European Union Safe Harbor framework as well. All of these things lead us to a very wide and diverse customer base. As you can see from this slide, customers really in all sorts of industries, many different types of size, from Frontier Airlines, who are managing their global reservation system, load balance between multiple ViaWest data centers, to IHS, Chipotle or Guitar Center, or even Cricket Wireless. This represents a wide variety of customers and also a wide variety of types of solutions. So let's dive into how ViaWest helps companies achieve these goals through our portfolio of infrastructure as a service offerings. Our main services, as we talked about, are colocation, managed services specifically layered around our dedicated hosting practice, our connected cloud and storage offerings, and our hybrid hosting, which is one of our fastest growing segments of our product set, which is really looking at just customizing solutions based on the different unique attributes that customers are looking for. So maybe a piece in colocation, layering on some of our cloud services or managed dedicated hosting services as well. So I'll pass it over to Micah Berninghausen to go through our colocation overview.
Yeah, so as Isaiah talked about in the previous slide, I'm just going to go through different aspects that help create the managed services that we can provide. For all of our managed services, we start with a base of colocation services. What colocation is really the facilities, the data centers that we're providing to both host our customers' application and also run our own systems that are supporting our customers. Starting off with space, this would be anything from as small as a half cabinet of power and network connectivity and physical space, to full cabinets, to cages, to even private suites and private 20,000 square feet data centers. We have all sorts of different solutions that we are currently providing for customers and can also provide for many different clients. And of course, across those 22, growing to 23 data centers and more. As for bandwidth, ViaWest does provide a blended bandwidth solution for internet connectivity. This is where we'll bring in multiple carriers and actually provide a HSRP and BGP mesh out to the internet and load balance across different providers, allowing us to provide a 100% SLA on that managed internet connectivity. A majority of our clients actually do use our blended internet solution, and also several clients will go to our different carriers on site. We are carrier neutral, so each data center has somewhere between 4 to 12 or more carriers that have facilities on site with us. So that enables us to give connectivity out to our clients and also manage our own connectivity for the blended internet. As for power, power is really what's supporting the space and network is the ability to turn it on. And so we can provide a plethora of different types of power, from 120 volt single phase power up to 3-phase, multiple amps, type of connectivity per cabinet. And really that will help us guide where we place different customers based on their needs for power density. We have the ability to go to very dense cabinets. We're looking at up to 18 to 20 kilowatts in a cabinet within a cage, which is really one of the great advantages to packing things into a nice dense package with some of today's technology. We can also offer that in a per circuit base, where you're paying for the circuit that you're requesting, or all the way to utilization base, where you're actually paying for exactly the power used per month, which we find many larger customers see as a great advantage that ViaWest can offer. So once you have your power, your bandwidth, and your space, you have your systems hosted, we can provide additional services in the colocation field by default, which would be remote hands. We'll talk a little bit in the next couple slides about who's providing those remote hands, but basically it's the ability for a Tier 2 engineer to pick up the phone from you 24/7 and help you get any changes done that you need that you can explain over the phone with them. And of course they are certified and technically adept to be able to support different needs rather than just, say, power cycling a system. Of course, we talked a little bit about a la carte menu. Space, power, and bandwidth are some of the examples of space and power always has to go together, but bandwidth could come from a different source. This sort of speaks to how you can really pick and choose what type of services from ViaWest you'd like to have. So once you have colocation taken care of, some of our data centers are being provided from, we go into managed hosting. So when we talk about managed hosting, this is where we're no longer just providing you the redundant power, the redundant managed internet, and the space in a secure facility. We're also going out there and offering to provide hardware, operating system management, database management, security services, virtualization, and proactivity and reactive support for all the systems, rather than just providing the space for those systems to run. In the hardware world, we'll go ahead and spec out hardware from a major name brand, being right now it's currently HP servers. And on top of just specing out the hardware, and we also do on-site sparing. On-site sparing is a great part because we can actually triage and repair hardware faster than we could waiting on the different vendors to provide 4-hour replacement for parts. Really meaning there that we keep all spare parts on site. Our engineers go out and test and say, okay, is it a bad power supply, and swap out the bad power supply, rather than having to wait for HP to agree that it's a bad power supply and ship us it within 4 hours. So that helps us to get an average of 30 minutes last year to repair any easily replaceable part like a power supply failure, and then actually replace the entire chassis had an average of an hour to build a new system, swap over the hard drives, and spin that system up if there was some type of a catastrophic failure, which is just really great. Operating system management goes on top of the hardware that we've provided. So when we go to operating system management for Windows, CentOS, Red Hat, that's where we're doing the initial implementation, documentation of the different operating systems, installing the initial tools, the initial hardening of the operating system, and also ongoing proactive and troubleshooting supports for the system and administration. So this is where the main goal of operating system management and database management, security, all these items is to be able to set up and maintain your environment for you to run your applications on top of. So with database management, same thing. We'll set up the different databases there: Microsoft SQL, MS SQL, Oracle. Do some performance consulting and tuning on those databases with you using our DBAs. For security and network, we can provide firewalls, load balancers, switching, intrusion detection, and do the same thing there and provide the hardware, initial setup, help talk with our security experts on what type of rules and configuration should be, and really help you get the environment up, running, and change controlled and available. Virtualization, same thing there. We can provide virtualization services for VMware and also provide our connected cloud, which would be the access to cloud resources. Performance and reporting, this is where ViaWest has a strong history ever since the beginning of wanting to be proactive. The more proactive you can be and really trend patterns of usage and head off capacity needs before you get to them, the less reactivity that you need and the less impact you have to your business. So what you'll find as you look at our managed hosting solutions is that we, based on your temperature for how often you want to see these reports, we'll run a report either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or yearly, depending on your needs, and actually sit down with you each time with our engineers, talk about the trending of where your environment's going, talk about how the security of the environment, and when and where we should look at upgrades, which is just a great way to keep ahead of the curve on your environment that often many IT groups don't have the capacity to do themselves regularly. So I talked a little bit about virtualization and our cloud services. This slide really just talks about how in the center you have our community cloud. Community cloud to us means that we know all of our community members. ViaWest has verbal and physical communication with our customers, and so all the customers in our cloud we have contracts with, we know their names. They can't just come on through the website, slide a credit card and get access and start utilizing our cloud. The advantage to our customers with that is really around performance and security. Or ViaWest knows who our customers are, and we have a acceptable use policy for our cloud. We also have maintained capacity and the ability to share resources across the cloud. So we're not going to run into an instance where we have a noisy neighbor on our cloud impacting different customers' performance. We can constantly balance that and actually talk to the people. Additionally, our cloud provides connectivity. Outside the blue cloud here, you see managed services on the left, Colocation up on the top right, and complex hosting down on the bottom right. What that's saying is that we can connect all the services you get with ViaWest into our cloud to make it look like one network or one environment. So ViaWest Support Framework, this is what ends up supporting all of the services we were just talking about. Of our data centers, 13 participate in a diversified centralized NOC, as I like to say it. This is a network operating center. These 13 geographically diverse NOCs act as our administrative staff for all of our internal and external systems. So what this means is that you have 24/7, 365 support by multiple tiers of engineers, starting off with really a tier 2. And this will talk a little bit about what happens when you call into ViaWest and you need support. If you call our 800 number once you're a customer, you'll go to one of these 13 NOCs. There's a 87% chance that within that 12 seconds it takes for that call you're going to be connected with somebody who can actually resolve your problem. So when you call in, you're going to get an answer within 12 seconds, and last year it was actually within 8 seconds. And that person is going to create the ticket, make your firewall rule change, or go out and do your physical reset of a server, or give you some assistance on your network, update the ticket, close out the call with you, and close out the ticket without having to triage you and pass you to another level of support. So that's just a nice feature to talk about how engineering focused our NOCs are. As for experienced staff, the average tenure of our NOCs engineers is about 3 years. And actually, when you look at how tenures work here, as Isaiah was talking about earlier, we've been fortunate to be able to continue expanding. Last year is a good example. We added 2 data centers and 100 employees. As you keep bringing on additional employees, it just seems to lower that average as you add on so many employees. But people seem to stand around, like Isaiah was saying, the original 32 people, and actually myself being here, I just love the culture. And that's a big thing to talk about with ViaWest is just our culture. We care about customer support. We care about being driven and providing the best possible. So if you're not a driven customer support motivated person, you're not going to hang around. You're not going to even be interested in coming here because it's an environment that's very performance-based. And that also goes into a little bit about how we provide customer service. We have dedicated client account relationship managers. What they are is really your liaison and your backing here at ViaWest. They want to make our customers happy because that's how they're judged. That's how they're actually graded and given incentives is based on how well our customer satisfaction score is. And that really shows through in our ability to be flexible with our customers, to continue to do proactive support and keep them happy.
When you look at some of the concepts, specifically around cloud computing, one of the primary features of that companies like to take advantage of it is the pay-as-you-grow concept. This fits very well into turning the traditional capital IT expenditures over to operational expenditure model. And we've used this pay-as-you-grow concept really across our product line, not just in our cloud services product line, but down into colocation services, down into our managed hosting product line. One of the biggest advantages when you're looking at human resources for staffing for IT services, it's very difficult to hire half a person. By utilizing a hosting provider such as ViaWest, you get to take advantage of the economies of scale that we have. To have multiple DBAs on site, Oracle DBAs, for example. I've seen many customers that tend to be Microsoft environments or SQL environments, and they'll end up going with Oracle Financials or some specific application that's maybe just outside of the core product set of the existing IT team. They're able to utilize the hosting provider to take advantage of just the amount of hours a month that is necessary to maintain those systems or applications. Security is another great example of that. We all hear about every week now the headlines of new companies getting hacked into. Is your security person really someone pulling double duty from other types of services? ViaWest, you're able to take advantage of true experts in security that focus on that 24/7 as their primary responsibility and offer that higher level of security. Just-in-time resources is, from a product standpoint, where we position around the pay-as-you-grow model for all of our storage products, both SAN and NAS storage platforms allow companies to pay only what they need at that time and incrementally grow that by using our economies of scale. This leads to a much higher return on investment for their IT spend. Not only are they able to take advantage of the pay-as-you-grow model, but it also, along with that, comes the 24/7 support, the best-of-breed technologies, and 100% uptime SLAs. Everything that ViaWest offers, we wrap very stringent SLAs behind it. This is all we do as a company, so we make sure we do it extremely well. We have a fantastic track record for meeting this. We have 100% power and network uptime SLAs, 100% uptime SLAs for managed hosting components when they're in a high availability configuration. We have 15-minute response time SLAs for any critical events. And we've had 100% network uptime since 2001. I think that speaks very well to the level of expertise and engineering resources, and also how we continually invest back into our infrastructure and back into our data centers. And very importantly, we have a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee that wraps around all of our services. We stand strong behind everything that we offer to our customers. So let's dive into how ViaWest helps our partners and what we've put in place with WTG to help all of you. The engagement model, I like to say, really is have it your way. We know some of you have a lot of experience in selling colocation, selling managed services and cloud services. For those of you that do and want to run the meetings and the customer experience very tightly and run that yourselves, we're happy to assist you with that. Let us know the details of the solution that you're looking for. We'll provide the quote and all the support that you're looking for from an engineering perspective and let you run with the deal. If you're not as experienced or you like to do a deeper engagement model, we're also happy to provide support for that. You can simply set up the appointment, provide an introduction, and we can really run the deal from the solution architecture standpoint through contracting, of course, keeping you in the loop all the way along the path. We do highly encourage solution review meetings, especially for any complex solutions. Please, bring us in as early as you can, especially if it's anything dealing with colocation cages, utilization-based power, managed hosting, or cloud services. We have highly qualified sales engineers that really can function as an extension of your team from that initial engagement meetings to really try to uncover and identify where a solution fit could be, what products are a good fit for that. Absolutely reach out. We have a lot of engineers within ViaWest's portfolio that we can put to use, that you can put to use to help your sales process. Commissions, we've been very lucky to put together a very aggressive and competitive commission structure with WTG. We've had a partnership with WTG for a number of years, and we've recently revamped that. So if you haven't logged into the portal in a while to check that out, I encourage you to do that. It's a great commission rate. I think that really speaks to our commitment to the channel. Not only is our commission rates the same for the primary term, but it also carries through to all renewal terms and as well as all upgrades. We want to work hand in hand with you, throughout the life of the customer, for all those renewals, for the upgrades, and to continue to grow your relationship with the customer that you brought in, as well as our relationship with you as a partner. One of the great ways that we can do that on an ongoing basis is through our dedicated client relations managers that are assigned to each of our accounts. This gives us the opportunity to bring the partner in and engage them directly and introduce them to the client relations manager, because they're the ones within ViaWest that will be keeping track of all the renewals, of all the upgrades, and really the day-to-day health of the relationship between ViaWest and the end customer. And that's a great way that I like to build that relationship and continue to show that ViaWest is committed to the success of our partners. Thank you all for joining today. That wraps up what we have for the webinar. Here's all of my contact information. Always feel free to reach out to myself, reach out to Micah. We're here to support you, and ViaWest looks forward to doing business with all of you. So thank you very much.